Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that I, at times, fall short of achieving my desires or experiencing my desires fulfilled? This is the subject of today's episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of the High Performance Consciousness Podcast. My name is Matthew Paddy, and again, I will be your host for today's show. So let's do a little bit of a Quentin Tarantino and give the end at the beginning, because you know that I'm all about living in the end. So in answer to the question, why do you fall short of achieving some of your desires or not experiencing the level of success or the level or amount of results that you want in your business and your life? I'll give you the Quentin Tarantino. It's because you do not want it enough. Straight up. And in typical swallow the hairy horse pill style, I'm going to give it to you straight because you deserve that. And if for nothing else, for no other reason, you hear it here, then it is important for you to understand that you do have what it takes to achieve whatever you want and to attain or achieve any level of success that you really, really desire and you fully commit to and wholeheartedly embrace and lean into as the new future reality experienced in the now. Long sentence, go back and listen to that, because that is the key to success. Full enrollment of self in an ideal, in an idea, in a desire, and fulfilling it in the now moment, and rinse and repeating it over and over and over again. That's how we change. That's how we transform. That's how we up-level. That is how we succeed. So a quick little announcement. As of this week and moving forward, we will be running one episode a week. So the encouragement there is for you to lean into these episodes and to embrace them and to experiment with the concepts and ideas and strategies that I share with you on these podcasts. So as we are getting very close to the pointy end of this year, we can start to really embrace what has this year taught us, what have we achieved, what have we fallen short of, what have we potentially not fully given ourselves to and maybe entertained as an idea, but have left it on the bench for someone else to pick up. Because reflection is the key. Reflection here plus awareness equals new wisdom. Reflection plus awareness equals new wisdom. So let's think about this for a moment, doing the Quentin Tarantino, that you're not getting what you want because you don't want it enough. Now, you can go to Buddhist philosophy or any other philosophies that teach about detachment and the underpinning that attachment breeds anxiety and suffering, pain and suffering. Well, that is true because when we attach ourselves to an outcome and we live exclusively in inverted commas, air quotes, in the hope of its arrival, that it will fix and resolve and make perfect our life, then suffering typically ensues. And why is that? Because when we give ourselves in hope to something being better, we are, through the vehicle or the idea of hope, the vibration of hope, not fully embodying it and owning it for ourselves. Hope is that we will be saved. Hope is that something will take care of it for us. Hope is that maybe, just maybe, it will work out in my favor. I'm hopeful. So hope is a level contained within an upper band of survival. And you'll hear me talk about survival and stability and freedom and momentum, all those sorts of things. So when you think about hope, I hope that I'm going to get what I want. Hope is a misguided step. Now, for some, hope pulls them out of suffering at the beginning because I hope that things change. So in the hope of that, they start to change themselves. They change their thoughts, their feelings, and the way that they behave, and the decisions they make, and the actions that follow that. You know, whether it's to get out of an abusive relationship or abusive or wrong sort of employment agreement, whatever it may be, there's a hope that things will change, and I'll lean into that. And typically people may pray, or they may give a higher power, not themselves, they give a higher power an instruction. And so we'll do another episode on prayer specifically, because most people have it all wrong. All wrong. And I'm happy for you to challenge me on that, but wait until you hear the episode. Okay, so that'll be coming up in a little while. But let's go back to today's subject, which is you're not arriving where you want and experiencing the level of success that you want because you do not want it enough. And you might say, but Matthew, I want it. I really, really want it. I want it bad. Go, well, you might want it bad, but you're attached to it, and maybe you're attached to a fantasy, which is it will plop into my lap miraculously without me having moved any instrument, any needle, any quotient of energy within myself in order to make it happen. That is a delusion. That is a fantasy. So when you think about what you want, then really sit with it. Sit with it, especially at this time of year. We're into the pointy end of 2020. And typically at the end of every year, we will start to wind down in our mind, wind down in our thinking, wind down in our activities. They may change more to seasonal type of focus, or whether it's more of an inward focus as a reflection. And this presents another opportunity for us to quieten the noise from the outside world, to disengage or discharge ourselves from the noise and distraction of the external world and to ask the deeper question, what is it that I really want? Now, I speak to a lot of business owners, a lot of coaches, a lot of consultants, a lot of health practitioners, and in starting the business, they were clear. Maybe 6 months in, maybe a year in, maybe 2 or 3 years in. They haven't yet arrived at the level of success, revenue, income, number of clients, niche, sort of domination, whatever it may be, that they had initially envisioned and secretly hoped for. And so they'll start to question, am I on the right track? Is this what I want still? Or is it something different? And asking at a deeper level and sitting with it, not just for an hour or a moment, but sitting with it for a week, maybe 2 weeks. Because think about it. Up until this point, you have been wrestling with time. You've been wrestling with time as a constant pressure against you. I don't have enough time. Time is running out. I need to do more. I need to rush. I need to fix my find solutions and fix my problems immediately. So you give yourself no window of time, therefore you minimize the window of opportunity because you rush, because you're attached to an outcome arriving instantaneously. And in all the conversations that I've had with you, you will know that the subconscious level, at the level of the subconscious, that's where everything occurs. That's the long-term programming unit. That's the true operating system of you, of the field, of you and the field. So all of your autonomic, sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, everything operates there. So think about it for a moment. What is it that you really want? You might say that you want success. Define success. What does it look like? Dollars in the bank, number of clients, house that you live in, whether you're traveling, whether you've got a partner or a family, whatever it may be. What does it look like? Define it. Because without definition, you cannot attach meaning to it. It becomes this elusive paradox, this elusive tidal flow of in and out ideas, where you find yourself inevitably never arriving because you've never defined something. You look at something flapping in the sky and you define it as a bird because you were taught to define it as a bird. Now, the meaning that you give to the bird is that it can fly, it has wings, it can be on the ground, in a tree, in the air. And then your mind, your imagination can move to that perspective. I wish I could fly. What would it feel like to fly? What would altitude look like and the sensation of altitude feel like? What would my perspective be? Can you see without definition There is no focal point for your consciousness. And without definition, without a clear focal point, as I've referred to as a point of light, there is no destination for your light to travel towards. And therefore, there is no destination in the now for you as an eternal point of awareness to invest energy in. So you remain this loosey-goosey, flaky wanderer, flaky wanderer, bouncing from idea to idea, thinking one thought after another, squirrel, 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 over-caffeinated squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. I cannot hold a consistent thought because in holding a consistent thought, I must believe that my focus and intention and attention upon that thought will yield a result that I desire. And because I do not believe I have the internal strength, the focal strength, the mental and emotional focus and precision and mastery, I bounce. I bounce between ideas and I become a flaky wanderer. I'm going to use that term from now on, a flaky wanderer. And so you look back at this year and observe what has gone well for me. What, if I was to copy and paste into next year, would I want to place ahead of me and to continue experiencing? And they may not be just in your business. It might not be just with your clients. It may not be just with your revenue or your income. It may be on how you feel, the type of daily structure and setup that you engage and operate with. It may be in your relationships. Maybe it's in your health. Maybe it's in the self-time. Maybe it's in your travel, whatever it may be. Look to what you would wholeheartedly embrace, copy and paste into the next year and re-experience and continue to experience. Look for those aspects. Because until you observe something, it does not exist. From a quantum perspective, that which is unobserved is in the superposition. The superposition essentially is all opportunities, all potentials simultaneously exist in the now. And how do we know that? Quantum physics. Everything exists simultaneously in the now. And so you can take a fractal of that, and everything that exists simultaneously in the now can be expanded upon when it's observed. Because where you're sitting or standing or walking, listening to this episode, you have not taken in consciously all of your surrounds. You have taken in the known. Listen to this. You have only taken in at a conscious level what is known to you. Therefore, that which was known and observed by you at a neurological level, at an emotional level. So I notice the same restaurant. I notice the same people. I notice this color car. I notice these trees, whatever it may be. I notice the pressure on my feet as I walk, or the pressure underneath my backside as I sit. You are only pulling in at a conscious level the information that is known to you. The subconscious level is pulling in millions of bits of information that is unknown to the conscious mind. So unless you observe and give reference and specificity to that which you want to observe and continue to give attention to that, wave will remain wave. Wave will not collapse into particle. Therefore, what you want will stay as a dream, will stay as a fantasy, will stay as a built-up illusion based on your flaky wanderer nature. So, define what you want by looking back, observing all aspects of your life. What areas felt great? What areas felt like you could copy and paste them into your future and continue to experience them? In kind, look at the other side. What did you not enjoy that much? What did you perceive did not go your way? Did not return the level of success or attainment or achievement that you desired? Was it in your money? Was it in your personal skills? Was it in your technical skills? Was it in the feeling of stability and certainty that I'd arrived? Because you can get your first client, and you can get your next 10 clients, and you can get your next 100 clients. However, unless you identify what you are feeling and what you are observing in the attainment of that result, it will remain elusive to you, and you will not be able to repeat it. You will lean into, well, that marketing worked, I'm getting leads, and that conversation worked because I'm getting sales or conversions. And that program or those modules worked because I'm getting clients' results. That's cool. And that's part of the system. However, unless you identify the point, the pivotal point of what you feel, you will seldom be able to repeat it consciously. And that is why I go back to the subconscious. The subconscious. The subconscious. The subconscious. The one that whispers in your ear like a lover. The one that does not, cannot easily be overheard with lots of noise. So if you've got a lot of conscious noise, a lot of beta type activity in your brainwaves, rushing, anxiety, frustration, hustle, grind, the whisper from your lover in your ear is hard to hear. Yes? So observe what has not gone your way this year. What could be changed? What you would prefer to upgrade or change. Observe it. And then give little attention to why this is happening to you. Give little attention to that victimhood or victim consciousness that is within every human being. Give little attention. Why me? Why isn't it working for me? Why can't I get ahead? Why can't I get what I want? Just observe. And now switch your observation to that which you do want. And like I said at the beginning, Quentin Tarantino style, you're not getting what you want because you simply do not want it enough. Because you haven't fully committed to the pursuit of it in a concept of time, meaning we are not pursuing our dreams, we are living our dreams now. We are not pursuing our future results. We're experiencing and training ourselves to experience them and master the feeling of those results in the now. So unless you do this and you sit in the awareness of that bigger question, what is it that I really want? Do I want $1 million business, a $10 million business, or do I want something that pays the bills and leaves me with more than enough to set up a wealth fund, to travel once a year, to do this, to do that? Be realistic for yourself. And this is probably the first time you've heard me say the word realistic. Because unless you know your true nature and you accept your true nature and lean into your true nature and love your true nature, that these are my values and this is what I want. I want the partner, the house, the picket fence, the 2 cars, the 2 kids, the dog, and all these sort of things. Unless you define what you want based on what you value, you will leave yourself exposed to the whims of the market. And that is where people sabotage. That's why people sabotage themselves. Because I can't keep up with the Joneses. I can't be in the field thinking I can see all of these coaches and all of these consultants and all of these health practitioners that are wanting, and it seemed to be achieving exactly what I want. But remember, information in, that's what you're observing. That is what you believe you know, because that's all you've seen in marketing campaigns. But let me ask you this, what do you really want? What do you really want? And unless you make a commitment to that which you want and fulfilling that which you want, it will remain elusive. You will remain the flaky wanderer that is testing yourself. essentially you're beating yourself up. You continue to beat yourself up to say, well, see, I never get what I want, or I seldom get the result that I want, or when I get the result that I want, I'm not happy. So this is self-abuse. At a deeper level, it's self-abuse. So start loving yourself enough to quieten the noise and the static of the external world and be with the self at this time of the year. Be with the self and ask, what do I value? And then those values supporting my decisions, and those values supporting my decisions return a result, reap a reward. What's the reward that I want that's aligned with my values? Because I can unequivocally tell you that if you have your highest values are family, financial security, and learning, and you are not doing those, and your business is not there supporting those values, and your decisions in your business and in your life aren't supporting those values, and the environment in which you live, operate, and function, expecting a result, is not supporting those values, then you are going to come up against friction, heat. Heat. Okay? So lean into the question, what do I really, really want? You'll start superficially. I want the house, the car, I want this, I want that. But once you've got a little bit of life under your belt and a little bit of dirt in your heels, you've traveled some paths. You may transcend that fairly quickly. You may go deeper and say, what I really want is peace. What I really want is certainty. What I really want is confidence. What I really, really want is the power to be in any environment, the power to be myself, and the level of command over my reality that comes with mastery. That you can walk into any environment, be faced with any information or any person, place, or circumstance, and know you are exalted. Know that you have a mastery that does not shy away from friction, that leans in because you can take it, you can handle it, you know who you are. That doesn't mean that you need to walk into fires every day. It doesn't mean that you need to walk on broken glass every day. It means that you're not this quivering, shivering, cold little pooch that is saying, I can't go out into the world and get what I want because I'm afraid. And this is what we're going to go into in the next episode. There's nothing to be afraid of. When you overcome fear, as Eisenhower said, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. When you overcome fear, everything is possible and is made more possible because you have transcended it. Anyway, I digress. I'm a little bit over time. I hope you've received some value from this. Be real with yourself. Sit with the question and navel gaze. Ask yourself. Be curious enough to dig in and not impatient enough to lean out. Curious enough to lean in and sit with it for a day, a week, 2 weeks. What is it that I really want? Instead of being the overcaffeinated squirrel and the flaky wanderer that jumps from idea to idea, thinking that all of them are going to solve their problem. Maybe it's this. No, maybe it's that. Maybe it's this. All of them are Band-Aids. And all of them are Band-Aids on your way to healing. They're all there to help you heal, which is to help you realize that you were never broken, that you never needed fixing, that right now you are perfect, whole, and powerful. I'll leave you with that. So from me here to wherever you are in the world, in the cosmos, dream a better dream. And remember, it's all you, baby. See you in the field.